involving physical exertion, skill, and in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. When you think of a sport, what comes to mind? To others, it's baseball and basketball. And then to the other people, it's football and soccer. But what about cheerleading? If you were to have this question based off of the definition I just gave you about a sport, then cheerleading would be a sport. Though some people still like to argue and disagree about this fact and say cheerleading isn't a sport. I know for sure my school, there's like 50% of the boys that disagree and cheer is not a sport. But they don't know what the cheerleaders have to go through. According to Bobcat Network, cheerleading requires a lot of skill and physical exertion, which therefore qualifies it to be a sport, just like many others. Cheerleading has many parallels to other sports such as gymnastics, acrobatics, and dance. All these sports, cheerleading included, require the athletes to be in shape, precise, talented, and well-rehearsed. What makes cheer a sport? There's 4 factors that are involved in cheer. Stunting, which requires 4 girls, maybe even 5 if you're throwing up a basket. And then jumping, which requires just 1 person, but you can use an assisted jump. And tumbling, which really hurts the wrist. And then competition is the big thing that you're practicing for. Now we're going to go into a deeper talk about each 4 factors. Stunting, the most physical exertion in cheer. Stunting involves you lifting up a person in the air, maybe they're even 5 feet off the ground, or they just go really, really high up to the sky. And then you throw them and you have to be able to properly catch them. It's extremely crucial that cheerleaders are properly trained. That way they all remain safe and prevent injuries. I know for sure in my school there has been some stunts that were not for us and injuries were possible. Jumping. It's an important and necessary aspect of cheer that requires physical exertion and skill. Jumping requires flexibility and balance and stamina. I know for sure some of the girls on our team don't really have flexibility, but their jumps are high up there. Cheer jumps place the jumper in an unnatural position. As you can tell, this cheerleader, she is off the ground and has her legs lifted up. That is called an extension, when you can pull them up, but also it is called a toe touch, but you can extend your legs as high as possible, which will take a toll on an athlete if not done correctly. I know for sure if you don't sit properly in a jump, it hurts my back. And it takes a lot of repetition to practice and to perfect the motions and make them look sharp for competition. Your jumps don't have to be high. As long as your arms are in the right place, then you will get automatic points. Tumbling is an essential part of sideline and competitive cheerleading. Tumbling moves that are used by cheer teams include cartwheels, roundoffs, handsprings, tucks, and fulls. I know for sure I'm not a tumbler. I can barely do a cartwheel sometimes, and it takes a toll on the cheerleader's wrist, and they're high up in the air and they're spinning. How can they do that? Competition. Cheerleading is often not considered a sport because a lot of the students in my school don't know we got a competition. It's not recognized at our school as much as we hope it would, but yeah. Cheer competition performance take a lot of planning and rehearsing in order to pull off correctly. My cheer coaches make us plan and practice for a competition in the beginning of September or late October, which competition's in February. So that's a lot of practices that we have to do. Performances are based on many different things, such as stunts difficulties and creativity, jump difficulties and execution, motions or synchronization, as well as pyramids. You have to be on point at competition or you could be docked. It's very crucial to be perfect through your whole routine and to be sharp. If you're not sharp, then you're spaghetti. Injuries. Heisenberg said 30 cheerleaders go to the hospital for cheerleading-related injuries every year. The cheer-related injuries are knee, wrist, ankle, and concussions. I know it seems like you're gonna get old, but cheer takes a toll on your body, and you're like the 50-year-old grandma by the time you're 17. It's crazy. I personally have wrist pains from being a base, which I'm holding the cheerleader up, and I just always had knee problems, so jumps don't really help out landing. And I almost had a concussion. Maybe, maybe not, but so on. I'm good now. Conclusion. There's more to just sideline cheering and just yelling to the crowd. We're not about being peppy, we're about being competitive. We are a sport and we deserve to be treated as a sport. The sport requires intense physical exertion, high level of skill, precision, athleticism, and a lot of training. I know for sure this is my 3rd year of cheer and I'm loving it. Can't wait for my senior year. But if it's not considered a sport my senior year, then what is a sport? Not basketball if we're not winning.